Hey, what's happening, YouTube? I thought I was recording, but obviously I wasn't, so I'm gonna recap on it. There's a story about how God can change everything and make you aware of everything, and how God is real. I'm gonna take you back to 2017 when I was still with my baby mama. We were supposed to be engaged, but common law wise, because I wouldn't marry anybody or even deal with anybody that trusts the government, because I don't trust you if you trust the government. I read, and you should follow instructions, and a man shouldn't take instruction from a woman, but a woman from a man, because a man's supposed to be wiser and stronger. It's just a lot of bullshit that happened. But she even wanted to do the whole engagement, even though it was common law and whatnot. Got tattoo wedding rings and whatnot, but yeah, that was for naught. Anyways, that was a slow beginning to my awakening, just to not only wicked people, but wicked women and wicked situations. And that was the beginning of me getting pushed into becoming a trucker and moving the way I move. But yeah, like, I exposed all the cheating information that I got, but this is the beginning of how I found all that cheating information, which was on my birthday. And ever since then, my birthdays have been just me cutting out people that God is telling me to cut out of my life, and my life has exponentially been getting better every time I identify a snake in my garden. And it's alarming. You don't need a massive group to be massively successful. Your success grows with the more snakes you remove and know. And you can't, once you see something, don't unsee it. Immediately remove it. But I digress to the point. 2016, 2017, a massive storm happened in Houston. And my baby mama, unbeknownst to me, but my vibe was telling me, my spider sense was going off. She was cheating. And she was cheating with multiple niggas. She had 2 jobs. I had one as a manager, managing people at fancy apartments and shit, with dealing with waste and telling them to clean that shit up and all that extra stuff. And I watched the kids during the day. I was dead tired and dead broke, because I used all my money on the bills, and I was stretched to the thin. And she was working money just to be conniving and save and just to set me up. I had no escape plan, but God still made an escape plan while I was trying to be trapped. I had my family turning on me, everybody turning on me simultaneously. God still made a way though. But to the point, she was working at nighttime with her brother. She was cheating at her work husband at BMW in the morning, which I helped her get that job. I helped her get in a position to get that job too. And then she was cheating at night, which her brother was helping her cheat. Her whole family's like this. She was cheating at nighttime with the neb nigga. And it flooded, and it was about to flood, and I was aware of it. And she wasn't, when women cheat, they cut down on communication if you're in some deep relationship. And their head's in a cloud. And so she wasn't paying attention to the storm. I knew the storm was coming. She knew the storm was coming. People were evacuating. They didn't know what they were going to do. A lot of Houstons are stupid, so they just stayed. I don't blame them, because I was stupid like that too. I am probably. And people just stayed there and got drunk. So business is going to be booming. So she went to her brother's business regardless. She was cheating there too, and it flooded. It was over in Richmond. There's only like 2 ways in, 2 ways out, and it flooded. And she stayed there for like 2 days in the truck, in flooded water. Then she was panicking. Me and the kids, we went to Foodorama from the apartments off an A-Leaf. And it was perfectly timed for me. The storm was about to happen. I'm walking with the kids to Foodorama. An Asian dude tried to run me over with my kids. I ran up really quick, lightning fast, kicked off his bumper and shit, and smashed his light. And he got out to argue, and I was gonna kick him, and then he realized why I did what I did. And then I went about my business. People around the neighborhood saw it, for some reason. Only a few people saw it, but word spread around town, which is a constant reminder of how, like, only a few people supposedly seen it, and then a whole block area knows about, like, some crazy shit that happened. Like, dude, that was crazy. You can kick hard as fuck, and that was badass, and did it. I'm like, yo, you saw that? That's wild. Or how'd you hear about that? Or how'd the word get around so quickly to so many people? I'm always like, I get to know people in the neighborhood. But I went in there, went in the Foodorama, got a bunch of snacks, stacked up food, snacks, everything, stacked up everything. Went back in the house. As soon as I set foot in the house with the stroller and the kids and shit, it started raining, and it rained hard. Me and the kids had fun, watched anime, chilled out, just did the normal dad shit, man. Cool ass shit, man. Enjoyed it from the balcony. The water never touched it. Like, it flooded everywhere except for around the apartment. The whole like, we could walk out in the apartment with umbrellas and be fine, but if you walked outside the apartment complex, like, streets were fucked up, everything. It was crazy how this thing works. But on her side of the story, she was stuck in the truck for like 2-3 days. I was trying to guide her. She didn't want to listen to me. She eventually got the courage to drive through certain parts that were flooded, but not too flooded. I knew the truck was gonna make it. She got scared, didn't want to listen, left the truck a good whiles away, where I had to go back and get her days later when the flooding and raining stopped. She started walking in high flood water for a distance to get back to the apartment. Fucking almost drowned in it. A guy saved her life with, like, she told me some crazy story. Basically, she almost got swept away. People did die in that flood, the same way she almost died in the flood. I picked her ass up. She passed out by the door, all wet and stinky and stupid ass. And I knew what was up, but, you know, you can't prove it until you prove it, so you can't call her out on it, even though I know what's up. And I found out shortly after, which my birthday came after, and I had all the evidence. It was just bad. Like, but a lot of women get down like this. I know both sides of it, sadly. And I'm not one of the niggas that go, you fucking niggas, bitches. Bitches are just they're that sneaky. They're that sneaky. Like, you won't know. Like, even wives are the worst. I'm a trucker. Trust me, I know. And I've turned down, but wives are worse than girlfriends and baby mamas and future to be wives and whatnot. But to the point, I fucking threw her in the shower. She calmed down for a little bit and just stayed at home and whatnot and tried to lay low. But that incident must have woke up the nigga, because that sparked one thing that led to another, that led to another. Like, one, she was acting weird at the BMW thing, but the nigga that worked at her brother's daiquiri shop that she worked with too, he was like, it clicked on him. He's like, damn, I almost died and she almost died. Maybe I should do the right thing and give this nigga the information. You can like, you can keep her. No nigga with any kind of self-respect wants to keep those things, those kind of creatures. That's neighborhood property. But he realized that not every nigga you can disrespect. And it's not that I have to lift a hand. Many people may or may not have died for trying to fuck with me without me lifting a hand or having any involvement. And many people almost have died from fucking with me without me having any involvement. And I'm not the only one. There's people that God won't allow you to fuck with. Even companies. There's whole companies that go down. I've known personally from my experience that God won't allow you to fuck with. But this is just a story, one of the stories that God puts in place. Like, also the job that I was working with, they fucked me over and that pushed me into trucking. But all those people that worked there, they got fucked over. So, and homeboy called me. He's like, yo, what you do, man? And I'm like, nigga, I'm a trucker now, dude. He's like, and he felt hurt about it. I'm like, well, you're a bitch. You know what I mean? You threw me under the bus for yourself. Which is okay. I expect niggas to do that. Because I could read a bitch nigga from a mile away. It just is what it is, man. And God also teaches us a lesson. Like, accept things for what they are. When you see red flags, when you see what things really are, accept it. If somebody don't rock with you, move away. Like, you're better off. You don't need a squad to have a guap. You don't need a legion to be a leader. You don't need the world to be blessed, is what I'm saying. Many niggas have lost their livelihood. A doctor just killed himself because he didn't want to pay $15,000 in child support, not knowing if you read the Title 4D contract and understand it, or if you talk to one of them niggas that you talk down on that think you're better than, even though they make the same or more money than you, that look like the natural hipster, you're a fucking doctor. You spent 6 to 8 years in a fucking school being indoctrinated. I'm pretty sure you can look some shit up. You know what I mean? But then again, we all exist in our own different universes and paradigms that also have our pitfalls. Whatever paradigm and universe you exist in, if it's one without God, it's not worth it. But anyways, God knows your worth, but do you. And remember to do you. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know how you feel. Let me know if I'm doing better with the lighting and whatnot. It's the first time I had any downtime to actually be a little bit more organized and thought out. Maybe because I have some things that I need to get done that's definitely gonna skyrocket shit. But I'm not gonna talk about that until that's done. That's a valuable lesson you need to take for yourself. Anyways, till next time.